everyone. Welcome to Talk to Us today. I'm Simrit.
And I'm Namita. And today on TalktousToday, we have our segment, She Roars. That's my favorite segment. And in this segment, we speak to our inspirations. These are the women who have roared ahead in their lives and inspire us with their patience, perseverance, and strength. And today on TalktousToday, we will be speaking with someone who we have been trying to reach out for a very long time. But due to her deep dedication and her schedule, she's always busy. Harshita Sinha.
Harshita Sinha is a teacher and a special educator. Although this was not what she trained for professionally. Harshita is a computer engineer and worked in the software industry for many years. But for the past 4 or 5 years, she's running a small school by the name of Sohan Learning Foundation. This school is for differently abled children. And it not only emphasizes on academics and education, but in life skills to help prepare the children become independent for life. Her journey as a special educator started when her son was first diagnosed with ASD. With her passion, dedication, consistency, and positive attitude, she has brought us to the thinking that labels cannot stop a child or a mother from achieving what they want to achieve. This reflects in how her dedication has helped her son achieve so much. So much so that her son scored 90% in mainstream 10th CBSE board exams, 100% in Trinity 3rd level in Qatar. Now this is an extra special achievement because nobody has scored so high in Noida, right? Welcome, Harshita. And congratulations on all of your and your son's achievements.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And what says about Trinity, that actually says for children with autism, once they put their heart onto something, they do it to perfection. The only reason he got 100% and nobody else has done it till now is maybe because of the strength which he has because of autism. He can catch even the little differences in the notes and this. So the examiner was like so mighty impressed. He didn't know that he was a child with special needs. We entered him in a normal category.
Wow.
And he was like, this child knows all the notes and he can make out everything.
Wow.
Maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
Wonderful.
A lot of times it happens,
Yeah. Welcome, Harshita. Welcome, Lord. And thank you so much for joining us on Talk This today. It's truly an honor that you have joined us. So let's start with you telling us a little bit about yourself, your journey. And we want to know how you went from a computer engineer to a specialist.
My whole journey has been like unexpected twists and turns. When I started off, I did engineering in electronics. And when I did, that time electronics students were not allowed to even touch the computers because there were only 5 computers in the entire college. So only the computer science students were allowed to touch it. So I had never touched a computer in my life. I didn't know how to switch it on, nothing about it. So in the campus interviews, after we finished our engineering, then by chance, TCS came. Somebody said, just go, hona to hai nahi, you just go and try it out, because anyway you're not qualified. And I was like, yeah, true. So what's the harm? So I went with my all hair in oil and everything because I was like, hona to hai nahi. And life, unexpected as always. And for me, it's been such a true fact. That day TCS could not find anybody in the entire city.
Wow.
They kept on interviewing, they could not find. So finally they said, okay, chalo, jo non-computers wale hain, unko we take up as just a GK test kind of,
Wow.
And in the GK test, we scored really high. That's my son roaming around. It's very difficult to tell a child with autism to stop.
No worry. No worry.
No, not to worry.
So finally, when our interview was done, it was almost like, okay, so what does your mother do? What does your father do? Okay, we will be training you because you don't know anything about computers. And that's how I started off. And TCS taught us everything, starting from how to switch it on and what is a computer and all that. But then it was a good journey from there on. After that, again, a change. So 12 years I was in software with different companies because my husband had to keep shifting cities. So I also did along with him. And then After I had my daughter, one day I went to pick her up and she said, Mama, like other mothers, you'll be coming to pick me up now. So I said, for some years, I need to do that, you know. So I shifted to teaching that time just because I wanted to have flexible timings. Because, and then when I was at DPS, I worked with DPS Agra for 2 years. And that time, you know, I used to see a lot of children, anyways, who you could make out were finding it really difficult to cope up. But because Agra is a traditional city, DPS had a little bit of a traditional environment. Every day the child is getting scolded and the child is getting punished. And so you could make out the difference actually. You could feel the difference in those children that they were trying, but they were really not getting it through. But that time, actually, to be very frank, even I did not know what was the what was actually wrong. You could make out, but you really did not know. And then Anish was born, and I was working with DPS that time. And as usual, you know, when you come back, you feel such a silent child and such a pleasant kid who doesn't disturb you at all. He's sitting in one corner and playing with one wheel again and again, and you're like, no, no demands. And so a lot of times, you know, you have people coming in, like my father used to always say, but don't you find it strange that when you enter, he doesn't even come running to you? And I used to be like, अच्छा है ना इतना independent है. It's such a good thing. Like, you know, he's playing in the corner, and only when you go and pick him up, that time also he would like to get down and start playing with that wheel again and again. And everything was going okay, you know, and we were, but then by 2.5, we started noticing a lot of signs. Like he would not even look up when we called him, he would not look at our pointers. There were times when he would cry throughout the day, and we could just not make out what was it that he was trying to say. Something as simple as a bye. Because I had an elder daughter, I obviously knew what were the normal milestones, like, you know. And then we started getting worried because we were like, it's not working out. Something is wrong somewhere. And then that time, you know, the Femina was a very popular magazine. I don't know how they came up with a checklist on how do you make out that your child has autism. And I just was ticking and I saw all the points getting ticked. And that was like a red flag for us, you know. Then I told my husband, and obviously denial at first, you know, you keep saying, ki, nahi, nahi, hota hai, you know, this person also talked late and this happened late and that person used to do this. But what we fail to understand is if the single child is getting all the features, then it's an issue. We generally take one feature from one child, another from another. He talked late, he interacted late, he started recognizing numbers late. If all the points are falling under one child, then I think as parents, you know, we should look up. And that time, you know, doctors were also not very aware. So even when I was telling the doctor something was wrong, they would not accept it at all.
Wow, that's a
Really?
struggle.
No, no,
That's
they
a
would not.
real struggle.
Even after, so I had to take him to Bangalore, you know. I was like, it's not working out because the days were going by. So from Agra all the way we went to Bangalore. And there, I would say experience of the doctor counts a lot because there, as soon as we entered NIMH and we were waiting, and the doctor entered, and he just looked at him for 5-6 minutes, and he turned to me and said, "Have you ever heard about autism?" And I was like, I was always suspecting it, but you know, the kind of experience. And 1 year, I kept on telling the doctor in Agra that something was wrong, something was wrong. And I think we wasted that 1 year. We did waste that 1 year. We could have
Terrible.
started earlier. So, experience and expertise. But after that, it was a good journey. I met all good people. I met all wonderful like support system. I had people who actually helped me every day, every second. No regrets after that. It's been a good journey, and it's been a very successful journey and very satisfying. Now when we look back, we wouldn't have wanted it any other way.
So how did Soham Learning Foundation came into existence?
Yeah, that was another story. When I took Anish, you know, we started with therapies. There were places that time also, they would charge for 10 sessions at a go. So you had to deposit fees for 10 sessions.
And
After the
sorry,
first,
this was still in Agra? This was still in
no,
Agra?
no, no. That time, then I shifted with Anish to Delhi, you know, because Agra did not have a very strong, the doctors, I would say, they lack that of kind of experience. So I shifted to Delhi, and then I started attending a lot of conferences, meeting a lot of people. But Soham happened, for a very different reason. Because, like I said, when I was taking Anish, so there were speech centers and this, and they were charging for 10 sessions at a go, 20 sessions at a go. And after the very first session, I would realize this is not going to work out. And at that time, time was so precious for me. Every minute I was like, I have to do something out of it. So there were times I paid for 20 sessions and I would not go after the first session. And the therapist would call me and say, Bhai, tumne diya hua hai, let's try it out at least. And I was like, I cannot waste another minute for him. You keep that money, it doesn't matter to me, because every second that is getting lost is like, it's more precious. So I wasted so much money like that. There were so many places I've deposited money and I haven't gone after 2 months or 2 days, 2 sessions, 3 sessions, because time was the most critical that time. So I always had in mind that when I make my setup, there would be no holding fees for anybody. It would be like, once you finish, you pay. If you don't like the session, don't pay, because the parents are already so much trouble. And secondly, time. Just because a child clicks with me doesn't matter mean that the other child will click with me. Why should his parents waste time with that? Because they paid because somebody else was successful. So with that motto, I actually came up with Soham, and we have followed that policy throughout. We don't have a admission fees. We don't take the month's fees in bulk. Every month that fees is taken after 7th. You have an option of withdrawing your child till 7th. No money is charged, no questions asked. For every session you pay after the session, no money asked before, no questions asked.
Wow.
So we have followed that.
So one is that you're different commercially, because this is really not a commercial setup.
Yeah.
This is purely a helping center, but you need money to run the center, right? How many kids do you have there now?
We have around, for this, it's actually a combined kind of a setup. We have sessions as well as school. So in school, we have around 29, 30 kids.
Okay. So it's a fairly small setup, and you have educators who are helping them learn different.
Yeah. And we intend to keep it that way.
Okay, great. So as far as your teaching, so commercially, we know how you're different. As far as teaching goes, how are you different than other special needs educators? And it's a personal project for you.
Like when I used to take Anish, I used to be asked to stay outside. Now, I always had this question, if my child is so able to pick up things, why would I be getting him to a therapy center? I would have be taking him to a regular tuition, which is much more cheaper and which is much more easily available. I'm traveling so much. But I was always told that the child will not work in front of you. And that was something which really I could not accept it. That if the child is not able to work in front of me, and a child who doesn't speak, I don't know what you've done with the child. If I don't teach it again at home, how will that child prosper? He is not learning at a very fast rate. That is the reason we are here today. So Soham again is with two very different principles. One is that money thing, we just don't get into it. Second is we always make parent partners. So the individual sessions do not happen if the parent is not inside. That Namita knows very well. We always make sure that the parent is there, whether I'm taking or my therapist is taking. Parent has to be there. So a lot of teachers, when they join me, their first thing is, ma'am, it has never happened. We have never taken with her. In every center, parents are outside. And the day I make them join, that is the day I tell them, this is not how we are going to work. When you join me, you have to be open to parents. So in school also, Namita knows parents can walk in any time. If they want to attend the school the whole day, we allow them. There is nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide. And if there is, and we are always open to suggestions because the parents are there. They always come up with constructive suggestions. It has helped us. It has made us learn so much. So much.
Wow, you're a special person. You're a very special person.
No. I think I've met special people. That's what I'm telling you. I'm lucky to have parents who believed I'm lucky to have met teachers or mentors who also guided me in the right way. And those who didn't, I left them. I actually did not continue with them. So,
No, that's really, really amazing, Ashita. This is like you are one of my biggest inspiration, and I would say that you know you're a torch bearer. Simrat, she's a torch bearer for many parents whose children have learning disabilities. Many of you don't know, but my son also has learning disabilities, and that's how I met Harshita. I have struggled to teach him, like my son, these basic, simple concepts, and I desperately needed someone to help me. And ever since I got in touch with Harshita, I have never looked back. I mean, for anything and everything, whenever I, face any challenges or regarding teaching or any other behavior, anything, she's always saying, "Don't worry, Namita, ye kar lega, he can do this." So, like, okay, if you said it, and it's something, it just boosts the confidence in you and your attitude. Oh, yes. Then, then you just have to be consistent in doing what you're doing.
So,
Right?
yeah, like I said, I'm lucky to have parents, who carry it forward. One man army can never work. Army always works when it is a team and they work in coordination. If everybody goes in a different direction, nothing can work.
and in
So the
general,
child also have to go along with you.
yeah, and in general, it takes a village to bring up a child, anyways.
True,
Right?
true. I
We all
strongly
need a
believe
tribe. We always need our tribe.
nobody can feed something to somebody. Even if the child changes, it is because the child tried. Had the child not tried, no matter what you do.
No, and any child. This is universal truth. This is
True.
not just for
Yeah.
any abilities or issue. This is a universal truth.
Very true. Very true.
No.
So,
Akshita, you are a Wonder Woman. I mean, for me, honestly, and I think a lot of mothers whom I know, who knows you, would say the same thing for you. You know, Other than that, Harshita, I know it's hard. This is hard. I know it personally. Did you ever face any social hurdles as a mother of a special child, and maybe in school or in the family circles or the social circles?
uh, see, Namita, hurdles are there, But like I tell you also, and I like tell other parents also, whenever it happens, I sit back and I look at myself and I think, in my class or in my environment, was I nice to everybody? And the answer is always a no. The reason being, there was somebody who was little different from me. Otherwise, I would have the whole class and the whole college and all the relatives would have been my best of friends, because they are not supposed to have any differences in life. So when I look at Anish or when I look at even my daughter or myself, my first question is, am I that good that I do it with everyone? I did not do it, okay? And nobody else did it. So I cannot actually go out and accept or expect that kind of, tolerance. I can obviously expect pity, but pity does not help anyone.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
Okay, pity is like kind of, it is actually demoralizing also,
Yes.
and it is disrespectful to the child also.
I agree.
My way of looking at things have always been, see where the hurdle came, you feel bad. That is what you happened to you in college or school also. Like I was a very I'm a plain Jane. I have always been a plain Jane throughout my life. I have never even whether when I was abroad, when I'm here, I've always been like this. So initially when you enter,
I don't know what you're talking about. You're shining according to me. So I don't know.
so the first week always used to be, people are like, कि, yes, push to dress up. Like pubs also, I would go in the way I am. I rarely did anything to fit in the society as per the norms. But what I saw was, if you are good enough, within a week, people accept you more beautifully for what you are. And I was comfortable because I hadn't changed,
Absolutely.
So I go to a lot of places. I have been to a lot of places, but I have been what I have been. And I try to instill the same in Anish and the other kids, that they also have to modify a bit, but not so much that they change completely.
Correct.
And do not expect acceptance from everyone. It is difficult in the society, you know. We don't accept our mates. We don't
That's
expect people on the road. How do we expect
Now we've been
everybody to
accepted by
just hug
everyone
the
with that,
child who's coming?
right?
But I do accept tolerance. एंड आई फील अपनी सोसाइटी उतनी है कि टॉलरेट करती है, इतने बुरे भी लोग नहीं होते, मतलब आई जनरली फील पीपल आर गुड, बट उनकी अपनी लिमिटेशंस है. हम भी करते हैं, हम स्कूल में वी टेल आवर चाइल्ड डोंट सिट विद दैट पर्सन, वो बहुत नॉटी है, तुम उसके साथ क्यों जाते हो, वो तो ही इज इनटू गर्ल्स, ही इज इनटू, वी हैव दैट टेंडेंसी, यू नो.
yes.
तो जब हम वो करते हैं तो हाउ कैन आई एक्सपेक्ट वन चाइल्ड टू जस्ट ओपनली एक्सेप्ट हिम? यस, आई डू एक्सेप्ट टॉलरेंस, और वो देते हैं. वो मुझे इतना कभी लगा नहीं कि रिलेटिव्स
Wonderful.
ने किसी ने उसको बिल्कुल ही साइडलाइन कर दिया या पीपल डिड नॉट एक्सेप्ट. एंड सेकेंड थिंग इज, इफ यू आर कंफर्टेबल विथ योर चाइल्ड, सामने वाला ऑटोमेटिकली इज कंफर्टेबल.
That's true.
So
It's how
I generally,
that whole.
I see a lot of people, you know, stopping social outings, being with relatives. We never did that. We never did that. We still have that very strong family, extended cousin system. Namita knows, like half of the time we are having people coming over, going,
Yeah.
and we maintained that throughout. We never took it as that we have to hide. So they were comfortable, we were comfortable, everybody was comfortable.
That brings up a really important, topic, Harshita. That as a society, like you as a family, accepted your child for who they were, and you had to, and then you didn't change your environment for him. You did to help accommodate him, but socially you didn't change your environment. You made it conducive that he's getting to know his cousins and his family and whatever, and they are getting to know him as he is. We're not hiding him in a room anymore. Correct? So as a society, what do you suggest? How can we all contribute for helping specially abled kids and adults? Do you have a message?
As a society, I think we all need to open up for everybody, not just special needs kids. We need to open up to our mates. We need to open up to transgenders. We need to open up to gay. If we have tolerance, we have tolerance for all. If I don't have tolerance, I don't have tolerance for anybody. We have to accept all religions, everything. I cannot be like this that I can say कि भाई तुम autism accept करो, बाकी as you are तुम वैसी चलो.
Very important.
Yeah.
If you are, so I generally don't get into. Manamita knows I never am advocate for autism, because I feel I have to be an advocate for everything. I cannot be an advocate only for
No,
autism.
you should. You should be an advocate. But no, even for employees or teachers, do you have any message that is that your message, that just accept everyone who is different than you?
I tell them the same. In my school, whenever we have a party, the mates always party with us. That also Namita knows. We have a birthday party, we are always together. Even the person who cleans the bathroom, he sits with us and he eats. We have no boundaries in our school. No boundaries. Everybody has to be heard. There is no seniority. Nobody knows who's the senior teacher. Nobody knows who's the junior teacher.
Yeah,
and same thing we tell for the children. Accept them as they are, but doesn't mean you let them be the way they are. Mold them to be a better than what they are in some ways, like we do for everybody else. We are not targeting children with special needs. We do it for the neurotypicals.
Yeah.
For anybody we do. We tell them, mold ho ke aise ho, that is better for you. Same thing we do for our children. And that is what I tell the teacher. Don't think that autism hai, isliye aisa karega. Don't think कि autism है इसलिए ये इसको हिलना अलाउड है. Don't think कि autism है इसलिए ये bite कर सकता है. No. Autism doesn't tell you to bite. Autism just tells you that you have a difficulty in social interaction, communication, and imagination. The rest all environment has taught them.
Wonderful.
So teach them the good things. You don't need to put autism ka label and allow everything and then tell others to accept. I don't generally go by that logic that why should anybody accept my child if the child is not sitting in the movie hall, moving around. That is like not acceptable and the child can do. It is not that अगर वो बिल्कुल उसका कोई limitation है, then I can understand. We do so many things. Like even I feel for elderlies, we make them sit, we don't make them move, we give them everything in the hand. We think that's normal. No, that's not normal.
Yes.
You go out. It is the most abnormal thing to do. You're making that person disabled for even though he's not. And we think whatever we allow is what
like in Indian culture, women only should be cooking, women only should be doing the household job.
The norm is not that only they should be cooking, they should be doing everything, number one. That's the normal now. They have to work outside the house, they have to cook. But the man changes the diaper and he's like, oh my God, he's the best father of the year award. Really? He's your child.
Yeah, spending a day. No, listen, another thing, Simran, spending a day with the child. Oh, you're babysitting your child. Like, come on, you're the father.
What's babysitting when it's your own child, buddy? It's not babysitting.
Exactly.
True. It's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. What's okay for us might not be okay for somebody else.
But no, this is an important part, that don't give permission for bad behavior because you think that this label is needed. Follow the parents.
That is another thing I tell a lot of my parents. They're like, "Ki aise baith nahi raha tha ye." And I'm like, when he was not learning 2, didn't you make him learn it the right way? You did not allow him to touch 4. You said only 2. 2 is only this. And the child learned. Why? Because it was always told that this is the only way. There is no other way. 2 is only this. So that child has the capacity, but you thought academic is more important than that life. So
exactly. Sometimes
I was like, अगर उसको autism है, आप day 1 से छोड़ दो उसको पूरा वैसे ही रहने दो. That child doesn't like sitting, the child doesn't want to focus, let him be. Then don't teach anything and be with your child always. You cannot do this, that you teach 10 things which you feel are important and rest all is autism.
Right. Very well said.
Very well. Yeah.
I think we should all learn from this. This is really interesting. So we have a little fun lightning segment here for our She Roars ladies, and you're a She Roar lady. Please give the first answer that pops into your head, because this is just a fun, topic. So, if a movie was made on your life, which actress would play you?
Madhav Dixit.
Wow! Not so playful.
She's a good actress.
She's a brilliant actress. She's my favorite too, by the way.
My favorite too. My hairstyle is mostly because of her. So.
I like that. It's always good to share what you feel. I mean, these are like our thing, Harshita. These like only we know about it. We feel it. So
अब तो dance भी धक धक करने लगा.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And what is the meanest thing you have ever said to anyone?
Meanest? I keep quiet, when I get angry at somebody. I usually don't use words like that. Can't say. I'm the silent. I give the silent treatment. I can give that for days. So maybe that is the meanest thing.
Okay. So I think you've kind of answered this. Would you rather be sexy or smart?
Smart.
Well, okay. And describe your most embarrassing moment.
First time I went with my would-be husband to a restaurant in GK. I didn't know how to use a fork. The first time I put the fork in the pizza slice, it went flying to the next plate. And I was like, Now what? Because it was a kind of arranged marriage and we were meeting for the second time. So
Did he ever share his thoughts of that moment with you ever? What he felt, how he felt when this happened?
no, that way we both are like pretty. He's also like me only in a lot of things. So he was like, "Why were you using a fork? I eat with my hand only." So
Nice.
from that day onwards, I've never eaten a pizza with a fork. It's always been.
There
my
you
hand.
go. That's destiny, Hannah. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your personal motto that you live by?
Life is beautiful.
Lovely.
Great.
Well, that's it. Thank you, Harshita, for coming to our show and for telling your story. You are a
Thank
live
you so much.
example.
It was fun
A li-
and it was very nice talking to both of you. Loved it.
You are a live example, Harshita, and a true inspiration for all the parents out there whose kids have been labeled due to, the difficulty in understanding. I would say different abilities. So you are an example to live by. And thank you. And I'm so happy and blessed to meet you. And I'm thankful to you as a parent, as a mother, and above all, as a friend. Thank you so much.
Same here. Thank you because I learn, like I said, every day from everyone, and you have been one of them. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know what might I have taught you, but yeah, you have taught me a lot.
Thank you for joining us, Harshita. It's truly been an honor. And
Thank you.
Thank you. It's really been an honor, really. And I've been waiting to talk to you because Namita speaks so much about you. And thank you for all that you do, in not just here, but everywhere. So that's all on Talk to Us today. But we look forward to hearing from you all. Please tell us what you thought of our She Roars segment by sending us an email at hello@talktoustoday.com or use the comment section below and let your friends know where to find us. Also, to connect with Harshita, please check out the description below. We've given all her information below. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to stay notified of our new videos every Friday at 6 p.m.
And thanks for joining us on Talktus today. Remember to talk about Talktus today. Keep smiling.
Keep laughing. And keep talking. Thank you, Harshita.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
See you next Friday. Bye.
Bye.